Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin's son Udhayanidhi Stalin officially assumed charge as state's Deputy Chief Minister with this ending days of speculation over this entire move. Udhayanidhi Stalin's elevation comes ahead of the assembly elections in 2026, but a lot of questions are being raised about this move. Apart from the dynasty charge, MK Stalin was elevated as Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in May 2009 after being active in politics for over 3 decades. In contrast, Udhayanidhi has won assembly polls only once and has made his political debut just 5 years ago. Word is that he hasn't even been allocated any portfolio. So is he just a figurehead? Or is he truly going to lead the DMK charge in 2026? Or is this elevation actually to counter a fresh crop of younger leaders across the Tamil Nadu political spectrum? Now, is this elevation on merit or just brazen dynastic politics? Let's debate that. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, P. Pularao, senior journalist with us. Your thoughts, P. Pularao. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen.
I think you have to understand the context. Merit in politics is winning elections. That's the first sign. If you don't win the elections, you cannot become a minister, you cannot become a chief minister. Stalin has scored outstanding victory in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, and then the assembly elections later, and then the parliament elections. Winnability is a very important condition. I don't say it's everything. Winnability is important. Stalin has won. Number two, you know very well Tamil Nadu politics. There are lots of seniors who have been there from Karunanidhi's time, who are ministers, MPs, everything. They won't like each other to be the next in charge, even nominally. So Udhayanidhi Stalin fits that role. And the third thing, which you know very well, parties which don't have some kind of succession table, regional parties. And you've got two major examples. You have got JDU of Nitish Kumar and Naveen Patnaik's BJD. There's no succession. And there is a lot of problems there going on. A lot of problems. I didn't create the dynastic situation in India, nor did you. It is there. We have to tackle it. We have to digest it. And this is the way out. You have to have some succession plan. If not him, somebody else. Some leadership.
Dr. Manmohan Singh became Prime Minister of Bharat twice without winning a single election. He was nominated for the Rajya Sabha,
yes.
to the Rajya Sabha, but it was purely on merit of him being a successful policy maker and in governance that he got that position. So winnability not always is the reason, but merit can be beyond election winnability also. The other thing is, parties grassroots. Are you trying to say that the DMK is such a tall does not see beyond the Parivar? Is that what you're saying, that in DMK none of the other leaders, tall leaders, are good enough to merit elevation to the party president's post or the deputy CM post? And Mr. Pularao, why has he not been allocated a portfolio?
No, he will be allocated a portfolio. He is on the run. He is being trained. And one has to also see that the Stalin and his family have not made waves in their personal lives. There are merit in it. You don't find them in various situations. And it takes time. And I may just draw your attention. Experience. Yesterday I pointed out, Jayalalitha was a good chief minister. No experience when she became chief. Same thing for MGR. Same thing for the great Kamraj Nagar. Experience will come. And this is a challenge for him.
My point is, I'm not questioning Mr. Udhayanidhi's ability. He's a youth leader. He's got popularity. He's won assembly polls. But by appointing him DCM and not giving him a portfolio, who's undermining his ability, or who underestimating his ability?
That is an administrative task.
That's the question I'm asking. Pradeep Bhandari? What's the problem?
Anand, first of all, this whole logic of, yes, I'll tell you there are threefold problems. A, when Mr. Stalin had come into power and when Mr. Stalin had come into politics, he was given a seat called as Chepak. That is a seat which is a DMK stronghold, and the DMK has not lost that seat since 1996. If you look at merit, when he was the Minister of Welfare, 40% of funds which were meant to be given to the SCs and the STs, he was not able to utilize that, and that fund was diverted to other purpose. So if you look and ask a very basic question, could Udhayanidhi Stalin have been made the Deputy Chief Minister had he not been Mr. Stalin's son? The answer is a big no, because even if you look at performance, he is one of the weakest performing ministers. And on a larger national level, Anand, the entire thing of dynasty and Parivarvad is what connects every Indie Alliance leader. And allow me 20 seconds to complete. Could Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav's son had been the RJD chief had he not been Mr. Lalu's son? The answer is big no. Could Rahul Gandhi, despite losing 50 elections, continue to be the face of the Congress party had he not been Sonia Gandhi's son? The answer is big no. Could Akhilesh Yadav, despite losing successive elections, continue to be Samajwadi Party's chief if he had not been Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav's son? The answer is a big no. Could Arvind Kejriwal's wife be sitting on a chief minister's chair and giving sermons to people of Delhi for some time till he was in jail had she not been Mr. Kejriwal's wife? The answer is big no. Could Mr. Umar Abdullah had the party's control in his hand had he not been Farooq Abdullah's son? The answer is a big no. So if you look at all these people in the party is controlled by the family. There is no harm in people from different families entering politics. But when only a single party controls, a single family controls the party, this is what is dynasty politics. And this is the exact precise issue in case of Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin, has been the similar issue in case of Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, or has it been the case in Rahul Gandhi, or has it been the case in Mr. Tejasvi Yadav?
Pullarauji.
One thing, I go, you replace dynasty with control. Who controlled the BJP during Vajpayee's time? 2 people, maybe 3. I didn't say it, Kanshi Ram said it. Now who control? I'm not finding error. Who controls the BJP? The 10 crore members or 3 or 4 people? That's the nature of politics in India. There are no term limits. There is no open election and party election. It is not from bottom to top, it's top down. It is a central system like Stalin's system in all parties. All parties. I don't think that is the correct thing for my friend to say that this is nice back there. There's a lot of democracy.
It is.
It's not there.
1 minute.
It is not there. It is all equal. You have to condemn politics for that.
You replace the word parivar with control, and then you try to make that example. That's a master stroke in making an argument. But with respect to the BJP, sir, it is fallacious because you have 3 former presidents, former National Party presidents of the BJP who are currently union ministers in the party, and that too in the last decade when none of these parties have seen a different president except for in recent past with the Congress party because Sonia ji could not continue, Rahul ji did not want to be there, so Mr. Kharge is the party president. Other than that, no other party has seen a president beyond the family or the first custodian in terms of the Parivarvad example. But Pradeep Bhandari, BJP, 2 or 3 people control. All other parties, 2 or 3 people control. That's what Mr. Pullarau's argument is.
Again, Mr. Poonawalla did not understand what I said. When a family is equal to a political party, that is what is dynasty politics. When the entire control of a party is with only one family and the successive generations of one family, that is what is dynasty politics. And I will tell you the difference. Right now, Mr. Nadda is the president. Before that, Mr. Amit Shah is the president. Before that, Mr. Rajnath was the president. Before that, Mr. Nitin Gadkari was the president. At one time, L.K. Advani was the president. Then Venkaiah Naidu ji was the president. Bengaru Lakshman was the president. Kushabha Thakre was the president. Murli Manohar Joshi was the president. L.K. Advani was the president. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was president. None of these individuals are directly related by any one family. Number 2, their siblings are no guarantee that the siblings of these respected leaders will be the party president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. There is no guarantee. So the level playing field is there. People from dynasty, from different families can enter. But here in Bharatiya Janata Party, you have a level playing field. And allow me to quote Kuldeep Nair. When Kuldeep Nair in his book had asked Lal Bahadur Shastri that what do you think is in the mind of Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri said, "Unke dil mein unki suputri hai." No author can say कि भाई किसकी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के में प्रेसिडेंट के दिल में क्या है उससे नेक्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट तय नहीं होता है. That is the premise difference is what I am saying. There are no 3 successive generations which completely have control on the Bharatiya Janata Party, but that is the case with every other party in this country. This is why they are dynasty driven party. We are not dynasty driven party.
Pullarauji.
One thing, Anandji, if I may just say on a personal footnote, there is a case of mine on the Supreme Court saying have elections, internal elections on all political parties conducted by the Election Commission of India. Then all this argument will go off. But they are not doing it. That's a real electoral reform.
No, those elections can't be controlled by the Election Commission of India. No, because they will come under they will all be governed by the constitution of each of these political parties, which all political parties have to have their own constitution. The argument will be made that it cannot come under the aegis. Only thing that can be mandated is that the election has to be a election, not a selection like most of the parties conduct.
Most of the parties. Then Mr.
Yeah.
Session was election commissioner.
Correct. In this
He
case,
had
you will
a-
also agree, Mr. Pullarao, that if you feel somebody is worthy enough to be the Uttaradhikari and you are designated the person as not just Yuvraj but also Deputy Chief Minister, you should also give that person portfolio. Otherwise, by
done, I'm
giving
sure.
that person no portfolio, it is underestimating ability, or it also opens that person up to ridicule, saying that you're just a figurehead there, you've got nothing to do.
No, you might just quoted Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. He had no portfolio. He was minister without portfolio. And the minister without portfolio, it means you have portfolio everything. It means everything. Lal Bahadur Shastri was a minister without portfolio.
Okay,
You can
Pradeep
think about
Bhandari, but he was the Prime Minister of the country, sir.
No,
Yeah,
before
the
that,
Prime
he was minister without portfolio.
Okay, yeah, Pradeep Bhandari.
Anandji, you have interviewed Sharmishta Mukherjee, if I recall very well, and Sharmishta Mukherjee in her book categorically said that her father was not made the prime ministerial candidate because Sonia Gandhi ji did not want it. So again I reiterate, it is about one family having control. I ask another question. Was Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin made the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu without any portfolio just because he slandered and abused Sanatan Dharm and called Sanatan Dharm as dengue, malaria, AIDS? By doing so, is the India Alliance giving a message to the people across the country that they will promote individuals who abuse the Hindu faith? That is also point number one. Because even on merit, he was one of the worst performing ministers.
That's a larger political ball that you want to throw
Yes.
at the opposition. But the fact is, within Tamil Nadu, the interpretation is what's happening within the DMK. Is there a clear succession of leadership, especially because the elder Stalin is not keeping very well. So there has been this speculation going on for a while. We are glad that Mr. Stalin is back in action, but perhaps this is also that there is a continuance in governance and there is no leadership crisis and there is absolute clarity as to who's in charge.
But why not anybody else except his son, Anandji?
We may not agree. We may agree, disagree on this, but this is how the politics of the state is being run and the affairs of the party are being run. That's how it is, a statement of fact. Pradeep Bhandari and Pullarao, thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break on that note. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, disturbing pictures that arise from Bangladesh. Is the world ignoring a nation that's on the cusp of yet another pogrom? A pogrom against the minorities in Bangladesh, largely Hindus. Is the plan already afoot there? We come back with why we ask this question. Stay with us.
The search for the unknown.